Most successful people have been asked this question at least one time in their life. What is the key to success? But you see, it's a very tough question to answer because there isn't just one single thing that is going to turn you into a worldwide success. Success is always a combination of multiple factors. That said, there is one thing that all millionaires have in common, and it's the fact that they all rely on habits rather than relying on discipline or motivation to move forward. You see, reaching your goals is not about completing one very difficult action right now and then never doing it ever again. It's about all of the small decisions that you make on a daily basis that add up and compound over time. If someone only eats junk food for an entire day, nothing that bad is going to happen to them. However, if that same individual eats only junk food for the next 5 years, their health is going to seriously start to deteriorate. Success isn't about what you do once, what you do right now. Rather, it's about the things that you do repeatedly over a long time frame. The first millionaire habit that completely changed my life was to be extremely clear about what I want. When I was in school, I used to struggle to pay attention in class. Whenever it would be time to go home and to go to my homework, I would always procrastinate. I simply didn't have a strong enough reason to do it. I genuinely believe that unless you have a strong enough reason to do something, you're not gonna do it. Let's say that there's a lever in front of you right now. If I instruct you to pull the lever, are you going to do it without asking me why? Without understanding why you should pull the lever? Or would you rather be hesitant to pull that lever and instead of following my instruction blindly, ask me why you should do it? The truth is that the number one reason for procrastination isn't some secretly hidden thing. It's simply that your why is not powerful enough to drive you to take action on a consistent basis. So by taking some time to sit in a quiet room with a pen and a notebook and asking myself, what's my vision for life? What do I want my life to be about? What do I want people to remember me for? I gave myself a strong, powerful reason why. Therefore, now when I sit at my desk, I open up my laptop and I get ready to do some work, I don't feel like procrastinating because I have a very strong reason to do things. I know why I'm taking action. The other millionaire habit that completely transformed my life was to use the 80-20 principle on a daily basis. The 80-20 principle states that 80% of our results only come from 20% of the things that we do. In business, this could manifest in the following way. 80% of your revenue comes from only 20% of your clients, or 80% of your revenue only comes from 20% of your products. The thing that you have to realize is that working more hours in a given day will not necessarily increase your productivity. What I did is that I asked myself, what's the 20% of activities that bring me 80% of the results in my business? For instance, for my e-learning company, creating content and diffusing it as much as possible across all social media platforms is the activity that has the highest return on investment. So my team and I doubled down on that. The third millionaire habit that changed my life was to cultivate a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. People who have a growth mindset typically believe that intelligence, abilities, and talents can be learned and improved through efforts. On the other hand, people who have what we call a fixed mindset typically believe that you are either smart or talented or you are not, and that there's not much that you can do to change that. These people basically think black or white. There are no shades in between. Well, the thing is, Henry Ford once said, whether you think you can or you can't, either way, you're right. Think about it. If you're trying to start an online business, yet you believe that no one is going to take you seriously on sales meetings because you're in your early 20s or because you have an accent, how will you muster up the courage to get started? Your beliefs shape your reality. The question that you need to ask yourself is, are my beliefs preventing me from moving forward and from getting what I want in life? Or on the opposite, are they helping me to move forward? Now, the fourth millionaire habit, and this one is definitely one of the key habits that I implement, is to downplay my lifestyle and to stay frugal. One thing that I never really liked about social media is the fact that everyone pretty much feels like they need to prove their worth absolutely through their pictures, through their social media accounts, through their numbers of likes, of comments, of followers. But why would you need likes, comments, followers to validate you as a person? True confidence isn't needing other people to validate you constantly. It's knowing your worth regardless of what car you drive, regardless of your external circumstances, and of what people might say about you. I'll be honest with you, the only reason you see me posting some stuff on Instagram, like fancy restaurants or supercars, is because I know this is what people want to see. But truth be told, if it were for me, I would not even have an Instagram account. That said, most of my money is not spent on materialistic things. Most of my money goes into my education and growing my business. That's it. When you get to a certain point, you realize that the game of comparing yourself to somebody else, to other people, it can't be won. There's always going to be somebody with more money than you. There's always going to be somebody that has something that you don't. So what? Why should your own self-worth be based on that? The worst thing that you can do is to go broke by trying to appear richer than you are. And even some people who manage to become very wealthy, they become slaves to a lifestyle because they're worried, what will other people think of me if I don't post a picture of a supercar on Instagram? Like maybe their favorite car is just a simple Audi, but because they attach their self-worth to how they think other people perceive them, because truthfully you can never really know what people think, they're going to buy a Rolls Royce, for instance. They're going to buy a Ferrari just so that other people think they're super successful. But playing this game, let me tell you, it's going to make you miserable. The other millionaire habit habit that changed my life is to take calculated risks. You see, if you want to achieve things that are by definition extraordinary, you are going to have to be willing to take calculated risks. If I take myself as an example, I had to be willing to take a risk by deciding to start my own online business instead of going to college and getting a degree. If you want to build a successful online business, then you're gonna have to be willing to bet on yourself. Great things don't take place inside of your comfort zone. They happen outside of it. And I'll be honest with you, I think that the worst possible thing that could happen to you is to literally be lying on your deathbed and you're looking back at your life. You're viewing the entire movie of your life unfolding in front of your eyes, and you realize that you went after none of your dreams, that all of the things that you so desperately wanted to do, you never did them. Oftentimes, we're scared of the end, we're scared of death. But the truth is that if life didn't have an expiry date, it would lose all of its meaning. The fact that since the moment you were born, the clock is ticking and you're essentially running on borrowed time, this is what makes life so beautiful. Because if you think about it, now you don't have to spend so much time worrying about what other people are going to think about you. Why would it matter if someone thinks this or that about you when everyone that is alive right now is literally no longer going to be in just a few years? Coming to terms with the fact that you are in fact immortal is probably the most freeing thing that can ever happen to you. Once you realize it and you fully internalize it, you become unstoppable. Because let's face it, most of the fears that we have, they're directly linked to our fear of other people perceiving us negatively. The sixth millionaire habit that completely transformed my life is to make a habit out of striking up conversations with strangers whenever the opportunity arises. I'm a typical introvert. I prefer to spend most of my time by myself, reading books, listening to podcasts, learning, building, but in order to get to where I am now, I had to massively improve my social skills. The truth is that if you're trying to build something big, you simply can't do it all by yourself. I know that some of you don't necessarily want to make millions, and that's completely fine. Some of you want to make $3,000 a month, up to $10,000 a month, and live a life of freedom and of abundance. Some of you just want to travel the world and live the laptop lifestyle. Some of you just want an extra income to provide for your family. Regardless, developing your social skills is a super important ability that is going to last you a lifetime. Human beings are social creatures. We used to live in tribes before modern civilization even begun. Having good social skills back then was crucial, because if you got rejected from the tribe, your chances of surviving in the wilderness all by yourself almost dropped down to zero. And even though we don't live in tribes anymore in today's modern world, we still live surrounded by other people. And if your goal is to build a successful online business that allows you to live your life of freedom and of abundance, developing social skills is a crucial element to your success. Now, this seventh millionaire habit is something that I genuinely believe 99.9% of people could benefit from, regardless of their financial goals. It is to learn something new every day. The truth is, you would need hundreds of lifetimes to even come close to knowing everything that there is to know on one single specific topic. And this doesn't even take into consideration the fact that what we know to be true changes over time. Facts, they evolve. What is known to be true today was considered a lie yesterday. Now, how does this apply to business? Let's say that you want to start your own online business and get to 10K per month. If you're constantly learning, you're getting better at your craft, you're naturally going to attract more and more customers. Word is going to spread that you are the go-to person in your market. I know some people that run online-based businesses and that are making multiple 5 figures a month, even sometimes 6 figures a month, and they literally get all of their clients through word of mouth and referrals, because that's just how good they are. The truth is that business is a highly competitive world, and if you want to stay ahead of the game, you need to stay up to date with the latest trends and hits. With that said, I genuinely believe that these 7 millionaire habits that I shared with you can set you on the path of financial success. Don't hesitate to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I reply to every single comment, and with that said, I will see you in the next one.